Hey, Cowboys Nation. This is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. The Dallas Cowboys are making waves once again, sending shockwaves through the NFL with what insiders are calling a game-changing move. And the focus of all conversations right now is none other than Brian Burns. Word around the league is that the Cowboys have officially secured Burns, a defensive powerhouse whose name has been whispered in locker rooms across the league for years, and fans are already buzzing with anticipation. People are speculating how his presence will completely redefine the Cowboys' defensive strategy, and the rumor mills are spinning with theories about the pressure he'll put on opposing quarterbacks. Analysts are debating how Burns' skill set, his speed, agility, and uncanny ability to read plays before they happen, will mesh with Dallas' already formidable roster. It's a move that seems almost too perfect, aligning with a narrative that has been growing in whispers for months, suggesting that the Cowboys weren't just looking for talent, but a leader, someone capable of galvanizing the defense and creating a culture of relentless pursuit. Some insiders hint at behind-the-scenes negotiations that were intense and secretive, the kind of talks that leave other teams frustrated, wondering how Dallas managed to pull this off without fanfare or leaks. Fans are already imagining stadiums shaking as Burns dominates on the field, becoming the cornerstone of a defensive unit that could rival the greatest in history, and the hype is palpable. Social media is exploding with speculation, memes, and predictions, while sports analysts are dissecting every possible scenario where Burns' presence could tip the scales in favor of the Cowboys, leaving rival teams scrambling to adjust. The whispers around league offices, private meetings, and even casual locker room chatter all point to one thing. Brian Burns is set to become not just a player, but the emblem of defensive dominance for Dallas. Rumors about contract specifics, incentives, and performance bonuses swirl alongside speculation about how quickly he will integrate into the team's culture and whether his leadership on and off the field will match the high expectations being set. While no official statements have detailed the finer points of his role, the consensus in every circle, fan forums, sports radio shows, and insider reports, is that this is a monumental acquisition, a bold statement of intent that Dallas is willing to dominate not just in games, but in headlines, conversations, and the minds of every football enthusiast nationwide. The speculation doesn't stop there, as rumors about the timing of Burns' announcement and his potential impact on team dynamics have been circulating relentlessly. Analysts suggest that bringing Burns in at this moment could be a calculated move designed to unsettle opponents even before the season starts, and some insiders claim that rival teams are already scrambling to adjust defensive schemes in anticipation of facing the Cowboys. There's chatter about how Burns' arrival might influence the drafting strategies of other franchises, with whispers hinting that the ripple effect of his signing could be felt throughout the league. Fans are already crafting their dream scenarios, imagining pivotal plays where Burns sacks key quarterbacks, forces turnovers, and sets the tone for an era of defensive supremacy. Behind the scenes, rumors abound regarding team meetings, film sessions, and strategy discussions where Burns' input is already being valued, suggesting that his influence extends far beyond the physical field. Some speculate that Burns' leadership qualities might inspire young defenders to elevate their games, creating an environment of healthy competition and unyielding determination. Even more intriguing are whispers about potential mentorship roles, with Burns guiding emerging talents, molding them into extensions of his defensive philosophy, and transforming the team culture into one centered on discipline, intelligence, and aggression. Sources close to the team hint that the Cowboys coaching staff is quietly reconfiguring their defensive schemes, anticipating the ways Burns' versatility and instincts could open up opportunities for creative play calling, something that could give Dallas an edge in games that are decided by inches and split-second decisions. While concrete details remain scarce, the atmosphere around the Cowboys camp suggests a heightened sense of optimism and confidence, with every pass rush, defensive alignment, and training session tinged with the expectation of something historic. Rumor mills continue to churn, suggesting that Burns' presence could shift power dynamics not only within Dallas but across the entire NFC, leaving opponents wary and analysts scrambling to assess the long-term ramifications of this acquisition. Fans are already imagining highlight reels, iconic moments, and the kind of legendary plays that define careers and franchises, all centered around the arrival of Brian Burns. The conversation among commentators and insiders consistently revolves around how Burns' skill set could reshape the Cowboys' defensive philosophy, potentially introducing new blitz packages, coverage schemes, and situational strategies that opponents have never seen before. Rumors suggest that the coaching staff has been quietly consulting with former players and strategists, exploring the best ways to maximize Burns' abilities while keeping the rest of the defense synchronized, which has sparked endless debate online and in sports talk shows. Social media platforms are exploding with speculative commentary, fan-made graphics, and statistical projections that predict just how many sacks, tackles for loss, and game-changing moments Burns might generate in his first season with Dallas. Sources suggest that internal team discussions are already positioning Burns as not just a player but a tactical cornerstone, someone whose decisions and instincts could influence the outcomes of entire games, creating a domino effect across the league. Rumors about behind-the-scenes training sessions indicate that Burns has been working intensively on synergy with the defensive line, secondary, and linebackers, with the intention of creating a seamless, nearly impenetrable unit. Analysts are already drawing comparisons to historic defensive icons, suggesting that if Burns reaches his projected potential, he could define a new era in defensive football, cementing Dallas' reputation as a team to be feared. The narrative unfolding is as much about psychology as physical ability, with whispers indicating that Burns' competitive mindset and leadership qualities are expected to elevate team morale, intimidate opponents, and instill a culture of accountability and relentless pursuit. Fans are creating storylines of legendary confrontations, imagining playoff scenarios where Burns' impact could tilt championship aspirations in favor of Dallas, generating excitement and tension that fuels speculation and rumor. Insider chatter even suggests potential marketing campaigns, media appearances, and community engagement efforts centered around Burns, turning him into a public figure as influential off the field as he is dominant on it. The accumulation of these whispers, leaks, and insider tips paints a picture of a strategic masterstroke, a signing that could define the Cowboys season, energize the fanbase, and force rival teams to rethink defensive strategies entirely. Speculation intensifies when examining the broader impact of Burns' arrival on the NFL landscape, as insiders hint that other teams are already recalculating draft strategies, free agent priorities, and trade negotiations in response to Dallas' bold move. There's a growing belief that Burns' presence could catalyze a ripple effect, prompting rival franchises to adopt more aggressive defensive stances or seek comparable talent to counterbalance the Cowboys' newfound advantage. Analysts are predicting a seismic shift in how opponents approach the Cowboys, with whispers about increased pressure on quarterbacks, altered offensive schemes, and a renewed focus on preparation to withstand the onslaught of Dallas defense. Fan communities are buzzing with what-if scenarios, discussing hypothetical matchups, pivotal plays, and potential highlight reels that could become iconic, reinforcing Burns' emerging reputation as a transformative figure. Behind closed doors, sources suggest that team meetings, strategy sessions, and film reviews are increasingly centered on Burns, with his insights shaping game plans, rotations, and defensive reads. Rumors even hint at potential synergy with other star players, as Dallas positions Burns alongside established defensive stalwarts to create a cohesive, fearsome unit capable of dictating the pace of games. Social media continues to amplify speculation, blending analysis, meme culture, and fan fervor into a whirlwind of discussion that keeps the topic trending. Whispered reports from insiders indicate that the Cowboys coaching staff is already conceptualizing innovative defensive plays specifically tailored to Burns' strengths, indicating a level of preparation and foresight that has competitors nervous. The underlying message, according to rumors, is clear. Dallas isn't just acquiring a player. They're signaling an era of defensive dominance, a strategy to reshape perceptions, intimidate rivals, and position themselves as a true powerhouse. Conversations within sports circles, podcasts, and analyst panels repeatedly emphasize the psychological advantage Burns could provide, potentially turning games into battles of attrition where the Cowboys dictate momentum confidence, and ultimately, outcomes. This swirling mix of speculation, insider chatter, and fan excitement suggests that Burns' arrival is poised to create an unforgettable chapter in NFL history, one that will be dissected, debated, and celebrated for years to come. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. The rumors surrounding Burns' contract details and off-field influence are equally tantalizing, with sources hinting at incentives designed to reward not just personal performance, but team cohesion and leadership contributions. Whispers suggest that Dallas strategically structured the deal to emphasize accountability, making Burns' role as a defensive anchor inseparable from the broader success of the team. Analysts speculate that these incentives could lead to a more dynamic on-field presence, with Burns motivated to influence every facet of the defense, from pre-snap reads to post-play adjustments. Behind-the-scenes reports indicate that Burns' integration into the Cowboys culture has been seamless, with veterans praising his professionalism, focus, and strategic mindset, adding fuel to rumors that he will be a unifying force for the squad. Fans have latched on to every public appearance, interview snippet, and training session highlight, interpreting each detail as confirmation of Burns' imminent dominance. Conversations in sports circles suggest that Burns' impact will extend beyond physical prowess, shaping practice intensity, player development, and even locker room morale. Whispered observations from insiders hint that Burns is expected to mentor younger players, instilling habits, techniques, and mental toughness that could redefine how Dallas approaches defensive preparation. Even more speculative reports propose that Burns' leadership might influence recruitment, scouting priorities, and draft decisions, creating a domino effect that reinforces the Cowboys' defensive philosophy for years to come. Analysts on podcasts, radio shows, and video segments are already predicting a renaissance of defensive play, attributing it directly to Burns' arrival and hinting that this could be the season where Dallas cements itself as the premier defensive powerhouse in the league. The blend of hype, speculation, and insider knowledge is creating a narrative that positions Burns not just as a player acquisition, but as a transformative cultural and tactical milestone, with whispers about legacy, dominance, and historical significance dominating the conversation. Speculation around Burns' leadership style and personality adds another layer of intrigue, as insiders hint at his potential to galvanize teammates, command attention in huddles, and elevate the performance of every defensive unit member. Rumors suggest that Burns' approach to preparation, communication, and on-field decision-making will establish a culture of excellence, inspiring teammates to embrace accountability, intensity, and discipline. Social media feeds are flooded with fan theories and mock scenarios portraying Burns as the defensive mastermind who anticipates plays, neutralizes offensive stars, and transforms challenging matchups into opportunities for dominance. Behind-the-scenes whispers indicate that coaches are already planning how to leverage Burns' instincts, situational awareness, and adaptability, experimenting with formations, rotations, and coverage schemes that maximize his influence. Some speculate that Burns' presence could lead to a shift in leadership dynamics, with other veteran defenders adjusting roles, responsibilities, and approaches to align with his vision, creating a cohesive, synchronized unit. Analysts suggest that Burns' influence extends beyond immediate gameplay, potentially shaping the long-term trajectory of the Cowboys' defensive philosophy and identity. Fan forums are awash with discussions about projected statistics, highlight plays, and the possibility of Burns redefining standards for elite defensive performance, creating an aura of anticipation that borders on fever pitch. Insider reports hint at media strategies designed to amplify Burns' persona, turning him into a public face of defensive excellence, adding psychological pressure on opponents while energizing the fan base. The underlying buzz suggests a calculated, multidimensional impact, with Burns' arrival influencing tactics, culture, perception, and legacy simultaneously, reinforcing the sense that Dallas has made a move of historic proportions. In essence, the whispers, rumors, and fervent speculation surrounding Brian Burns indicate a narrative that is equal parts excitement, strategic brilliance, and cultural transformation, promising a season where the Cowboys' defense is not only formidable but iconic. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.